In our next tutorial, we're going to have a look at how to complete a manual mail merge. Okay, so I'm going to start up Word, and this time I'm going to open up my example file, mail merge letter 2. Now this is exactly the same as the first mail merge that we completed, but of course it hasn't been merged. Okay, so this is a standard letter that I want to send to a list of recipients, and I want to merge the recipient's information into this letter and produce a new merge letter for each of those recipients. Okay, so this time we're going to head for the Mailings tab, and we're going to do it manually. So I'm going to go straight up to the Start Mail Merge button there. Rather than use the wizard at the bottom, we're going to tell it I want to produce some letters. So click Letters at the top. Okay, and that kick-starts the process. Alright, so our next button, and generally speaking we're just going to move in to the right hand side, button by button. We need to select our recipients. So give it a click. We can type a new list, choose from our Outlook contacts, but we're going to create a merge letter for using an existing list, so use an existing list. And I've got my existing list in my support file folder there. Now your recipients can come from an Excel file, as is the case with us, another Word document. It would just be laid out in a Word table, or a database file. Okay, but in our case we've got client data XLSX, that's our data source. Click open. Okay, and with Excel we may have to choose whether or not it's coming from a specific worksheet or a named range. We're going to go for the worksheet there. Click OK, and we're almost ready to go. Now this time I want to narrow down the list of people that are going to receive this. So I could have thousands of people in that Excel file, but only actually want to send it to a subset. We can do that by clicking Edit Recipient List. So if I click Edit Recipient List, we get a list of the recipients. Now the quick way of narrowing this down, of course, is just to deselect the people who we'd rather not send the letter to. We can deselect them all and just tick the people who we do want to send the letter to. Okay, now I actually want to keep all of those ticked. If I've got thousands of recipients, that could be quite hard. Now I've decided I just want to send letters to the recipients that live in London there. Okay, so down at the bottom we're going to apply a filter. So I click Filter, and the filter screen pops up. I just choose the field we want to filter by. In my case it was, let's go down to city, and then I apply a comparison. So where the city equals, we could be doing this on numeric field and we could say less than or greater than, but in our case it is equal to, and we're interested in London. Click OK, and we're just left with the London recipients. Now I do actually want to send it to everybody. Okay, so if I click the filter button again, so we could change the filter to another field perhaps, or another city. In my case I drop that down top the list and I say none. That removes the filter. Click OK, and all of my records come back again. Okay, so in my case I do want all of the data, but it's very easy to filter that. Click OK. The next step, of course, is to add the merge fields where I want them to go. Now, in our previous tutorial, using the wizard, we used the address block and the greeting line tool. This time I'm going to skip over those. I'm going to go straight to Insert Merge Field. Now, I do have to make sure that the insertion point is exactly where I want it to be. Okay, then I go to Insert Merge Field, and I see a list of the field names from the top row of the spreadsheet. The first thing I want is to put in the contact information, so I'm going to go for the salutation. So this is going to be Mrs. or Mr. And if I was typing that manually, I'd type in Mrs. space Jones. So after that I need a space, and then Insert Merge Field, contact first name, space, contact last name. And then moving down to the next line, start filling out the rest of the information. Okay, so I'm going to need the customer name and enter, and then I can start laying out the address. So address, we'll go for city, and I think I'll have the postcode on the same line, so comma, space, and postcode. and we'll finish that with the country field. Okay, and then on my greeting line there, dear, I just want to say dear Mr. Jones perhaps. So insert merge field, salutation, space, and contact last name. Okay, so at the moment all I can see, of course, are the fields. These will be replaced by the actual information, but if I want to check to see what it will look like a little bit further along, we can preview those results. Okay, now I can see the address block there and the greeting line there. Okay, just to the right of that you can see those little navigation buttons. I can scan through each of the recipients and see those change. At that point I'm happy with the results. We need to finish the merge, and the very right hand button there, finish and merge. Do I want to print those documents? Edit individual documents. I want to edit those individual documents, so we'll give that a click. I want to merge all records, click OK, and after a few seconds of click and whirring, just as with the wizard, we will get a single letter for each of those recipients. On it goes, on. So each page customized for a particular customer, and that's how we complete a manual mail merge. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Look forward to seeing you on the next video tutorial.